Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and I appreciate you guys and gals being here today. It is a fantastic day, and it is cold here where we are, so I do appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. So we're going to talk about the banking sector. We're going to continue to talk about it, I think, for the next foreseeable couple of days, just because um, stuff got weird and stuff broke. And I think it would be wise of us to pay attention to different areas of the banking sectors. I really think there's a contagion going on. It is my personal opinion. And I'm going to show you some of the reasons why I think that stuff, that we are starting to see a major change in the banking sectors as a whole. Now, the reason I say all that is because stuff's kind of falling out of the sky, so to speak, around the banking sectors. So we're gonna take a look at that here in just a moment. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, give us a subscribe, grab the bell that when we go live. We go live a couple times a week, so I do appreciate those of you who are here every single time we go live. It is fantastic. It means a lot to me. I have a Patreon running as well. That is where I take the gloves off, have conversation with you guys about things that um, typically would get something like a channel like this taken down. So I set that up for multiple reasons. Great. Some people reached out to me initially when I first started this, and they're like, "Hey, we want to support what you're doing." I was like, "Okay, this will work." And other people wanted to be able to have the extra content, which is what that is for, and that is set up so that way I have a space to where I can talk about subjects like the Fauci ouchie and some other things that happened around that, stuff's going on in Ukraine, things like that. I've had multiple conversations with you guys and gals there. Now, as far as the economy, banking, crypto, things like that, that's what we kind of cover here. Those of you who are regulars, you know that stuff. So I do just want to jump into this here, but I wanted to point out that is there. If anyone wants to check it out, I do appreciate those of you who are part of it. Sorry about that. There's a bunch of links in the description of the video, so you are welcome to have fun with those as well. All right. So let's look if things will work. There it goes. Credit Suisse is down. It has been down consistently for a long time. Like a long time, like several years down. Okay. If you look at, let's go to the week chart. Let's see. That's the weekly chart. It's a lot. It's back to 2007. Okay. It's been on a downward trajectory since then. Okay. Let's go back to the day. Okay. So it gapped down and then has had a significant influx of liquidity. Not really sure what's going on with that yet, but it is definitely having a bit of a problem because of, well, we'll get into why here in just a second. Deutsche Bank is also down a little bit. Charles Schwab. Wonder if they're related. Is slightly up. Now we've talked about Signature Bank dropping, and SVB dropping. Bank of America is down a little bit. JP Morgan is down a little bit. Okay, so these are some of the bigger banks. Fantastic stuff to pay attention to, just because, or especially whenever we're going through a time like this, where things are a little bit iffy. Bitcoin had a spike and run up. It is having a slight little correction here today. My personal opinion is people are who knee-jerked and put it in there are gently pulling back out. We'll see. A lot of longs got liquidated. Longs got liquidated. Shorts got liquidated. So there's a lot of different pieces there. Divvy is was running up, trying to get back to its at least a penny there, and they're actually in the middle of a Twitter live right now, Spaces, and I was in there. That's kind of what I am a little bit late, to be honest with you. I was trying to listen in to what was going on. working on the Dow, some very cool stuff there. So go check out that spaces when we're done here. Um, they might be still live. If they're not, they are recording it, so it'll be out for y'all to y'all see. So, but anyways, the Dow, everything is taking a correction today, which is very interesting. Gold and silver are ticking slightly up because it's a hedge against the banking sector. Now, there are other Twitter spaces I highly recommend you go check out. Mario Norfall, I can't pronounce it. I'm gonna screw it up. Has been hosting some really big spaces with a lot of really big name people in there. Highly recommend y'all go follow along with that, kind of like a radio show, just throughout the day. And just have it playing in the background while you're working, while you're chilling, whatever you're doing. Highly recommend paying attention to that. It is something I have gathered a lot of information and been able to curtail the opinion I'm about to give you guys around what's going on with Credit Suisse and all these other banking pieces. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to focus on Twitter here for a minute, just for y'all to understand. It is where the news is. If you're part of the Patreon, I do have a Telegram channel, and y'all have been fantastically amazing about sharing the information that you find in that channel. And it has allowed a community of amazing folks. You guys are amazing. The stuff y'all talk about, it's great just to have a conversation about things. Hard questions get asked sometimes. Great dialogue, fantastic stuff. Really, really strong community of people, and I love it. I love all of that. I love the fact that all of you are there, and it really means a lot to me that you're part of it. But if you're not part of the Patreon, you're not part of the Telegram, that's great. That's fine. Follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of different things there, retweet a lot of different things there. I will post most things in the Telegram channel that are more harder pills to swallow, and I know a lot of you guys are as well. So definitely check that out. Even if you just joined to be a part of the group, it's worth it. It really is. There are really some impressive people in there. You guys are fantastic, and I love it that you're in there. So, anyways, I digress. A lot of the stuff that I've been paying attention to out there on Twitter, the reason I'm pointing back to Twitter here is because you get to see what's trending. You get to see what's going on with the different pieces of the pie, puzzle, whatever you want to call it. So I highly recommend that you get out there, follow me, follow some of the folks that I retweet or talk about or anything like that. And I don't know what I just did there. So I pushed a button somehow. Anyways, this chart right here shows how blatantly negative Credit Suisse is, and y'all can't see that, can you? Let's pop it up. There we go. Uh, let's see. Credit Suisse is perceived by the markets. CDS, I don't know what CDS is. Markets are pricing in a probability of default at 38%. That rose to like 40 something, 47%. So it's actually much higher. So default. Yeah, that's not good. That's a significant increase on its default. US Treasury says it's monitoring Credit Suisse situation. Why? Okay, 1 year CDS. This is a big deal. The too big to fail Credit Suisse domino effect far more potent than SVB. It really is, and that's something that really I think the underlying story here. This is something Zero Hedge has been putting out, is trying to follow along with this. The too big to fail stuff. Here's the deal. Credit Suisse is on that list. If Credit Suisse does fall, you're going to end up seeing some very significant issues. Hang on just a second. No, I get people posting in another channel that I'm definitely part of. I need to share that out for y'all, but you might get some overlap in that. But anyways, for the Patreon members there, I digress. Zero Hedge has been following along with this, and I really want y'all to pay attention. The too big to fail banks, they're not too big to fail. If there's not enough money to go around, there's not enough money to go around. We are heading into a very similar space that is very reminiscent of 1929. And that's one of the big reasons I have been saying crypto is the exit strategy. My regulars hear me say that all the time. it is very, 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 very much so a very smart thing, my personal opinion, to gold, silver, and crypto. Crypto will be the exit strategy. As we saw in the run up over the weekend, what did Bitcoin do? Even with USDC depegging, what did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin ran. Bitcoin ran because people use it as a safe haven. I'm telling y'all, gold and silver are very hard to obtain physically holding it. If you physically hold Bitcoin, it's on a device. It's just a device. It's simple. It's easy. Move your capital. Not a big deal. Anyways, yeah, again, U.S. Treasury is monitoring quite a Suisse situation. Credit Suisse was down 30%. It's just very, very great. So, Credit Suisse has been downgraded to Credit Sus. Funny. Let's see, there was other stuff in here. Qatar Investment Authority declines to comment on Credit Suisse Group AG after fall in sharp price spokesperson. I'll make it to it here in a second if we come across it here, but I want y'all to understand. Who was it? Iraq? Is it Iraq? No. What was it? Let me see if I find it real quick. Doop. Hang on, I'll find it. There was a thingamabobber. No, hang on, let me find it. Let me find it. This is actually extremely something I really want y'all to pay attention to. Hang on, bear with me. Okay. There it is. I found it. Wall Street Silver. Credit Suisse might be failing. The Saudis, which is one of the largest investors in the bank, says they won't invest anymore. The credit default markets are pricing in a probability of default of 38%. It's actually higher than that now. 25. Oh, that's not that. Credit default swap. So that's CDS. That is what CDS is. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm still picking some of this up at the same time that we're kind of going through here. So the credit default swaps are definitely causing problems, just like they did before, right? So before 2008 crisis, they had the credit default swaps and they had the CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, and then they had the mortgage-backed securities. Those are still all very much so in play, which is crazy. Justin, Credit Suisse CEO, says the liquidity base is strong as share prices come under pressure and global bank contagion looms. Steady lads, deploying more dominoes. Okay, just want you to understand. That to me screams stop taking money out of our bank. We're okay. Leave us alone. And I'm kind of going, no, the people are pulling their money out of the bank. There's a kind of a bank run going on. Last time we heard our liquidity is strong, our liquidity base is strong. That was Lehman Brothers. That was Morgan Stanley. Liquidity remained strong as the price tanked. Breaking, absolutely not another cent of credit for Credit Suisse. This is what Saudi National Bank and the embattled lender top shareholder tells Bloomberg TV. Let's listen in on the Bloomberg, shall we? If it'll work for me, I'm going to pause it and rewind it, and we'll unmute it here. And I'm going to let it come through the speakers. They'll let me know if you can hear it in a 5x5 or not, okay?
I caught up with the chairman of Saudi National Bank, and his tone on Credit Suisse specifically, far from the optimism and confidence when we broke the first interview back in late October into early November of last year. The thing to remember here is that they're seeing these regulatory obstacles that are going to keep any participation on their part quite limited. But there was clearly also no interest to go beyond into any other creative ways to support. I asked about the franchise, Credit Suisse First Boston. He says, no, we're not going to take part in that either. And some of the other conversations I've had here on the sidelines suggest that there's a growing sense of frustration that despite a lot of the regional support and very much being front and center as part of the Credit Suisse overall into late last year, there is disappointment and a sense that we've done our part and the rest is up to Credit Suisse. Take a quick listen here in terms of what he had to say.
The answer is absolutely not, for many reasons, outside the simplest reason, which is regulatory and statutory. We now own 9.8% of the bank. If we go above 10%, all kinds of new rules kick in, whether it be by our regulator or the European regulator or the Swiss regulator, and we're not inclined to get into a new regulatory regime.
So there you go. Very interesting stuff to pay attention to. They end up getting into more ownership of the bank by adding funds to the bank. Therefore, they get shares of the bank. That means they have to go through different regulatory things, and they just don't want to do that. Kind of serendipitous, don't you think? So that means that for the Saudi National Bank, or SDB, excuse me, SNB, they simply just don't want to cause more problems for themselves. Why does why does Credit Suisse need more money? Why are they asking for more money? That should be the question in people's minds. Guys and gals, if Credit Suisse goes, Deutsche Bank's not far behind. Other banks are going to continue to topple. It is a big domino game that they have set up, and somebody somewhere tripped. Trading halted. This is something else I don't think have paid attention to yet either. French banking group BNP Paribas. After stock plunged 8%, they halted the trading on it. That has also stopped. So this has become a global problem. First Credit Suisse, now BNP Paribas. Bank failure spreading to Europe? Yeah, they are. Guys, I'm telling you, after SVB, if Credit Suisse collapses, it will be a total mayhem worldwide. It is. It's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't know who this dude is, but it will be. Credit Suisse collapse. The stock is now $2. It was $80. It's been a slow bleed. It has been a slow bleed. I showed you that earlier. Come over here, go to the week chart so we can kind of zoom out here, zoom out. It pumped to 80 in 2007, and it's been a slow bleed ever since, for years. I think it's done. That's just my personal opinion. We shall see what happens here, because you see, the Federal Reserve has deployed their money already. They had $20 trillion to take care of a single bank. There's a lot of reasons behind that. I've showed you guys in the Patreon stuff as to why. We'll be careful here, just to kind of do that. This is supposed to be funny, but this is indeed something that I think we'll end up starting to see, which is not a good thing, but it's supposed to be funny, so just take it as it is.
To the future. Oh, you don't have any glasses? Just pretend. The future. The future.
Sorry to interrupt, but there are some policemen here. They say they need to speak to you about irregularities in the pension fund.
I see. Could you make him a cup of tea, please, Stephanie?
It's supposed to be a joke, but that kind of stuff happened last time. Credit Suisse credit default swaps 1 year are going parabolic to 875 basis points, shattering any previous record, which is a big deal. Bigger than Lehman Brothers, bigger than Bear Stearns. Current level is 18 times the 1 year credit default swaps rival Swiss bank UBS, and 9 times bigger than Deutsche Bank. Credit Suisse are in serious trouble. You'll get the picture. More and more information here. Just more and more information here. It's dropped 30%. What was it? What is it right now? It's 22.9%. overall dropped 20, or I'm sorry, overall dropped, let's go to the hour. Holy crap. It overall dropped 30%. I really need y'all to pay attention. This is why I say on the show all the time, crypto's the exit strategy. Crypto's the exit strategy because it protects you from this. I had a friend of mine ping me on my personal Facebook about some stuff I was sharing and just be like, oh, well, I can't put my grocery bill into something where it has a drops 18% kind of thing. And I'm like, I get that. You can arbitrage that though. You could make money off of your money like that. Okay. There are other ways to do this. You can use, there's other ways. I won't divulge. There are other ways to keep money in crypto and maintain a regular, we'll call it, line of cash, feasible money kind of thing. But anyways, I digress. I am going to run through and check the chat here. There's a live chat running. If you're watching live, you're welcome to throw any questions, comments, concerns in there. There's always a pretty good conversation going amongst everybody, which is great. I love it. So we got Lithia. How are you today? Thanks for being part of the show. I do appreciate it. As always, Tim, thanks for being here. It's great to see you. I appreciate it. Let's see. We got Trinity SS. What's going on, brother? It's good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing very well. PBJ, I'm not going to be a troublemaker and talk about what's on the plate soon. Oh, brother. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. Let's see who else we got here today. We've got John. What's going on? Good morning to you as well. I appreciate you being here. Bob Baby, what are your opinions of USDT? I have always seen it as more of a scam than anything else. Curious what you think. It's a means to get in and out of crypto. This is scam is a way of holding it. It's just another representation of fiat currency, in my opinion. They say it's backed 1-to-1 with dollar or dollar denominated bonds or whatever else. It didn't have a problem when all this other stuff took place. USDC did. Apparently, there was a pending transaction that did not go through because the banking sector had some problems. As you saw on Monday when the banks all opened up, USDC repegged. Now, treading lightly here, I don't know what my opinion would be on that. It would be a way of taking profit, or getting in and out of the different cryptos. That way you lock your profit kind of thing and then kind of get out of it. I would not leave any portion, if you will, unless you want to keep dry powder in that. That's just kind of the way I think about it. But as far as USDT is concerned, it's not necessarily a scam per se, but the stable coins in general, they say they're backed by dollars or backed by fiat or backed by crypto or backed by or whatever their algorithmic speak PAPAJO. Algorithmic crypto Luna had a problem because liquidations took place and they did not appropriately configure that out. So I don't necessarily think that couldn't do well in the future, but it didn't work out the first time around. But then again, that is a learning opportunity and we can move forward from there. You know what I mean? All right. So who else we got here? We got Trinity S-Man. What's up, brother? Bitcoin, because yes, and I still have that t-shirt. I love it, brother. Thanks. Daddy-O, what's going on, man? It's good to see you today. Appreciate you being part of the show. It is fantastic. Let's see who else we got here today. Yes. 0 tears from me for the banksters, brother. Right on. All right, you guys keep up. Follow along on the Patreon if you're part of that. I highly recommend that you join, if nothing else. 1, if you feel like supporting me, and 2, if you want to be part of a community of amazing, like-minded people and have a conversation in general and keep up with what's going on. It is a really, really amazing group of people. If you want to make sure you have the appropriate Twitter account, go to thepapajoshow.com. It should be listed in the description of the video as well. grab the links of the socials here, and you will have for sure me and not a scammer. So anyhow, you'll be blessed. Have an amazing rest of the day, and I will talk to you soon. Take it easy.